made it. Hi, it's Jenny Q here. How you doing? I really hope that someone is able to hop on and watch the live, but if not, I will be keeping it in the discussion, and I will be posting it and sharing it to my main timeline. So if you weren't here live, don't worry about it. I will always make opportunities for you to watch it in replay. Okay, so welcome. Art from the Heart. I will try and keep this very brief. Today's video will be a little bit longer because it's the introduction and I'm sort of introducing you to everything, and then the rest of the time together for the next 12 days will just flow, and there'll be a rhythm and you'll know what to expect or what not to expect, and that's kind of the fun part as well. So what is Art from the Heart? Art from the Heart is a art sale / fundraiser that I've organized to help raise funds for an organization called House of Friendship. House of Friendship is a local agency, excuse me, and they provide services for all sorts of supports for folks in our community. The area that I wish to focus on and I wish to raise funds for are specifically the addiction treatment services portion of their program. Now, why? Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to do this in the middle of a national state of emergency? Why do I want to do this in the middle of a pandemic? And why do I want to do it through art? All really, really good questions. And if they're the ones on your mind, I'm going to answer them right now. I will start with the most emotional and salient point is this whole event was inspired by a friend of mine, someone who I love very, very much. Just before Christmas, passed away from an OD. He overdosed. And part of, other than just the grief of not having him, it's the situation that kind of hit me. And the fact that he actually had caught COVID, went into isolation, got healthy, and then he died from an OD. So it all just kind of hit me, and I have been stir crazy, and I was like, how can I help? What can I do? I need to do something. I have to do something. And it's, if you're someone who's ever had an experience like this, you know what I'm talking about. You have to do it. You have to do something. So I thought about it, and so I reached out and I spoke with the folks at House of Friendship, and they were absolutely pleased and absolutely supportive in allowing me to help raise funds for them. And so here we are. So Art from the Heart. Now, why art and how is it going to work? The reason I picked art, and so it's art and photography, but they're both art forms, so I just call it Art from the Heart, is my friend who passed away. I'm not going to make this is a tribute to him, but I'm not going to make this about him because I want to respect the privacy and the grieving process his family is going through, and his girlfriend and all of those things. And but he was very important to me, and so I'm not even going to share his name. I'm just going to say him, just to respect that privacy. Please appreciate that. But anyway, he and I were very close, and well, we still are. I still talk to him, and he loved my art, basically, and he was one of the people in my tribe who would encourage me. He would encourage me to create and to share. And so in order to process the loss of him, I ended up creating some pieces, and I went out. I was visiting my boyfriend, and we went out for a nice drive towards the end of the year, and we went to Wyerton, and it was a beautiful day, and it was a place I knew my friend would love, and so I took some photographs. And so the majority of the collection are art pieces and photographs, which I know he would have loved. And this green piece over my shoulder, actually, this was one of his favorites. He loved this piece right here. Anyway, so I thought, well, he loved my art. I loved him. And so why don't I do an art sale, and I'll split the proceeds, and half of everything I sell will go to help some sort of sober house or drug addiction program to help others who are struggling. And that's how Art from the Heart came about. And then ever since that idea hit me, it's just evolved, and it's been amazing. And here we are. And the reason I'm late starting today is I had to go pick up the print posters. So let me just break it down how simple this really is. If you notice in the description, you can purchase a print poster, and a portion of those proceeds will go to House of Friendship. You can do a direct donation, and if you do, just please note it's on behalf of Art from the Heart, because we want to keep a tally and a track and an accurate count of how much money we've raised, because our goal for over the next 12 days is we want to raise $2,000. $2,000. We can do it. Absolutely, we can do it. And if you want to help, you can either donate or just share my posts or share my event, share my website, do whatever it is you need to do for us to sell all of these posters. And so the posters are 10, there's 10 posters, and it's limited edition posters, which means there's only 10 prints of each one. So there's only 10 of the rocks and 10 of the universe and 10 of, 10 of the trees. There's only 10 of each print. It's a limited edition specifically for this event, for this cause. And so that's it. I really had this much better organized, guys. I swear I did, but having to run to the printers and stuff, it got me a little behind schedule. I do want to keep this relatively short. Okay, we're good. We're only at about 7 minutes in. So before I ramble on too much, I want to share a little bit about House of Friendship, and then I'm going to share the prints, and then I'm going to explain sort of how the rest of this time is going to go together. So as I explained why this event happened, it's because, my friend, it's because of personal stories and things that happen in your life that motivate things. And so every day from here going forward, I will be sharing a story that the folks at House of Friendship have shared with me to share with you about real life experiences of real clients, of real things. And I was going to share one today, but I'm going to save it for tomorrow, because we have 10 stories in 12 days. So I'm going to save the story for tomorrow, but just so as an example, this story is called Childhood Struggle Leads to Giving Back. And it's about a fellow named Eric Pigeon, I believe his last name is Eric Pigeon. And I will share this story tomorrow. But I picked him first because he wants to give back, and it's kind of the same motivation. I just want to give back. I want to give back, and I want to help. And I want to help, and I want to, I still want to do this. So tomorrow, Eric will come back. Now, some interesting things about House of Friendship is they do have 4 key areas that they help, and addiction is one, housing, community, and I think the other is mental health. I can't remember exactly how they word it, but that's basically the 4. And so I looked at just under the addiction treatment, and just under addiction treatment alone, these are the kind of things that they do. They have counseling services available. They have day treatment programs. They have residential treatment, and they have community addiction support services. Now, I know that, you may be like, well, I don't know what that is. That's okay. I put the link in. Just click on the link and you can investigate and explore. If you want me to share more details on this, I probably will anyway, but if there's any one of these areas, let me know and I will include it in one of the lives, okay? Or if you want the information, just message me and I'm happy to share the links with you via DM. But what it just says here is that I want to read this part. It says, as the disruption of our everyday lives due to COVID carries on, House of Friendship Addiction Services is continuing to offer addiction community services primarily in a virtual format, of course. However, we are pleased to share that we are gradually reintroducing some in-person on-site services. And now that was in the fall. This was a little while ago. I'm not sure where they are now. I don't know if they know where they are now, but they certainly have a motivation to keep everything accessible. So they are very aware of COVID-19. They adapt incredibly. And back in September 30th, when they put out a report, here is some interesting things about the shelter care. They have a program called Shelter Care, which is fantastic. Shelter Care, I will put a little link in tomorrow's. It gives you a video, a little synopsis of what it's about, but basically it's a step up from a shelter. It is not dorm style. It is a collaboration with various hotels, and the people in recovery actually get a room, maybe with one other person. It's not a dormitory style. And they not only have access to some privacy and somewhere that they can be 24/7, they also get support and medical attention if required. So here's some interesting facts. The new model, so during the COVID, right, there were no positive cases within the shelter care program. So that just tells you how careful they are and how aware they are and how much the health and the safety of their clients and their staff mean to them. The overdose rates were down over 50% despite increasing number of individuals served from 51 to more than 100. Now, 75% reduction in emergency medical service visits, and this is the one that hit me the hardest, more than 30 men housed over the past 6 months with none returning to shelter. That's exciting. That is incredible. And so all of this is during COVID, and what I want you guys to understand is imagine going through what the world's going through without having a home and struggling with addiction. It's kind of what my friend was going through, not recently, but the early part of COVID. He was homeless, he was hungry, and he had challenges. And so if I can help raise funds so that people can have access to programs like Shelter Care, through the addiction treatment program, through House of Friendship, it's amazing, guys. I have lots of information about them, but I'm not gonna overload you today. We have 12 days to go over all of the amazing information. Of course, you can just let me know what you want to know, and I will absolutely share that information. Now, I'm gonna show the prints, which made me late, and I'm not gonna tell you too much about them because that is kind of what each day is about. So every day I will be sharing a story from House of Friendship, and I'll be sharing one of my prints and explaining to you why it's in the collection. I kind of already talked about it, but I'll talk about each one specifically. This is just to give you an idea of what, if you purchase a print, this is what it's going to look like. So this one, wow, they're really big. I got to hold them back. So this one is called Hide and Seek, and it's basically, I took a photograph of some alcohol ink that I used on glass. So that's the first poster. Okay, we got some photographs here. I'll do it a little more quickly. So this one's called, obviously, On the Rocks. This one, make sure I show it the right way. This one is called Circle of Friendship, and I'll explain more when I share that one. This one is called D-Rock, and of course I will explain that next time. I will tell you that a lot of, this is Lake Huron in the background with the photographs. This one is called Bridging Thoughts. This is actually one of my favorites. So there you go. This one is called Stepping Stones. I don't know how well you guys are able to see that. Let me know if I'm going too fast or too slow. This one is called D&J Universe. I'll give you a hint. The J stands for Jenny. So the D stands for something else. I bet you can guess what. This is actually in Waterloo where I live. This is just down the road. And this one's called Branching Out. Just loved it. Just beautiful, beautiful. This one is called I Thought So. It's another alcohol ink, but this alcohol ink is on paper, not on glass. This one. And then this last one is called Deep Rooted. Now, this is really one of my favorite. They're actually all my favorite. I am so super stoked and happy with how well they turned out. Now, how are we doing on time here? I just want to keep you guys. Oh my gosh, 15 minutes. I've been talking way too long, guys. Okay, so let's keep it simple. So here's the deal. I'm wanting to raise $2,000 to help to donate House of Friendship with their addictions program, specifically their shelter care program, to help people who are struggling and who may potentially either be homeless or close to being homeless and struggling, and shelter care is the only place they can go, because during this time perhaps the shelters are full, perhaps there's no other beds anywhere, perhaps they just have nowhere else to turn, right? So so the bottom line, and I'm going to do it through an art sale, through selling 10 of these posters, 10 of each, 10 times 10, and on the back of every poster that is sold, I don't know if you can see that, I've actually included a poem that I wrote, and it's a poem I shared with my friend when he was in rehab the first time since I've met him, which was 2 years ago. And he loved this poem so much that he shared it with his friends who were in rehab with him, or people who became his friends, and they all found it resonated. And so I thought it was very appropriate to put it on the back of the prints so that people can appreciate the kind of thing that resonated with my friend. And it's a good poem. I'm a little biased. I wrote it. So I'm going to take 15 more seconds and I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to say goodnight and goodbye, and then I'll come back tomorrow and be much better organized, I promise. But I'm just so excited. I could just talk for hours about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and what it's all about. And I'm so excited you're here. I see that one person is watching. I'm so appreciative that you're here. Thank you so much. And so here we go. Here's the poem, okay? And it's called Coach Demon. When I stepped forward and took the leap, I fell all the way down. Cold, wet pavement kissing my cheek. Who the hell are you? My demon whispered in my ear. With a deep breath, I pushed myself up to my knees to look and see. No one is around. That's as good as it gets, he whispers to me. May as well rest here, my dear. When I jumped forward and took the leap, I tripped and was on my knees, skin ripped and bloody. I knew you wouldn't go very far, my demon said to me, sure and low. Cleaning my wound, I thought I was all alone, but then saw someone peeking through the trees. It hurts. Rest and go home, my dear. You are done. This is the best and as far as you can go. When I ran forward and took a leap, I landed on my feet, strong and tall. Heart racing, breathing heavy, I heard my demon yell, never again will you win this race. Some people are waving at me. I hear them cheering, well done, you didn't fall. Screaming as loud as he can, my demon berates me. You are out of place. I thank you, Coach Demon, for your lessons and words of sage. I choose to fall and rise again and again and learn from your rage. And that is the poem. Okay, guys, this was a really long first post. I promise you the rest will not be this long. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate you attending my event, and I look forward to hearing from you. I love feedback. DM me, leave it in the chat, put it through the discussion, whatever works for you guys. And if you're having technical difficulties, let me know. This is my first event. I'm not sure what I'm doing exactly. Okay, guys, I adore you all. And as I always say at the end of anything I do, and always, especially in these times, share your love, share your laughter, and share your smile. Because that's the best we can do. Okay, I'm just giddy now. Okay, I gotta go, guys. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon. Oh, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.